Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. This video is going to be slightly different from others that I do, and the reason for it is that, well, I'm a marriage commissioner, and a few weeks ago when I was in another part of the province, another community, performing and officiating a marriage ceremony, I, of course, made time to travel a wee bit further and go to a community that I've never been to before. And of course, I had pre-Googled whether or not there were thrift stores there. Well, imagine my surprise when I walked in to see that there was a pretty extensive display of junk journals. And they were all, I thought, underpriced. Hence, I bought one. And I don't mean that to sound cold-blooded or opportunistic or whatever. I just know that for not very much money, I could add another junk journal to my collection. I could see someone else's take on how to do things. And frankly, like you, I'm more likely to buy a journal that is priced affordably than one that is hundreds of dollars, even though I full well understand the value, the blood, sweat, and tears, the time that goes into making one of these. Excuse me. So that this is in no way to diminish Jenny's efforts. I think it's Jenny. Let me just be sure. I made her sign it at the back. Jenny's efforts. She had many journals there, and I had a heck of a time deciding on one versus another. I wasn't going to buy more than one, but but I certainly was tempted to buy more than one because, of course, among any of us as makers, we don't put all our good ideas or our favorite elements into every single thing we make. We use one idea in one journal and then we do something else in another. unless we've refined our process down to an assembly line, which heaven help me if I ever get to that point. That will be the day that I will decide that I need to walk away and quit this. Anyway, I want to see what's in here, but I also want to show you what's in here and see if each of us can't learn something about someone else's approach. So many of you will know that I love burgundy. I probably loved burgundy before I love purple or simultaneously. I'm not sure. So this is, I would say, like an ultra suede type fabric. And of course, this lovely wide piece of lace. Now, you can see when I pull on this. Okay, so now I did give Jenny my my channel name, so I'm hoping that she checked me out. I'm hoping she subscribed, and I'm hoping she gets to see this video, simply because, again, this is, we had a conversation, obviously, in the store. This is not, anything I say is not a criticism, but it's more of a, what can I learn from someone else's operation? And what would I change about this particular project? Because there is one major thing I would change. Anyway, enough preamble. So you can see when I lift this, or maybe you can't see, but anyway, there are three rows of stitching. And, well, in a minute you'll see how she does many of her covers. Now this is a cute little dangle, and of course it's just done on these multiple strings, which I believe are the same ones that have that she used to stitch her signatures in. So let's take a quick look at what she has here. Now, to be honest, I don't know. Well, perhaps that's fairly strong. I don't know. It looks like she's just strung a number of things. Oh, a good and bad list. A number of beads. Now, with this style of dangle, obviously, it's not removable. So, you know, I guess it's short enough, though, that a person could easily push it out of the way when, you know, getting into the book and writing in it and so on. So just a number of beads strung on here. This one is the, oh, that's a cute button. We know that I have a soft spot for buttons. Look at that rose. So these things are just tied on. Love and a little drop pearl at the end. Another button, that's one shaped like a shell. Not sure I've shown you ever. Oh, and then this, I would say that's probably deconstructed jewelry of some sort, or maybe it came off an earring or whatever. And of course, I love that sort of stuff because goodness knows I don't have as much jewelry as Caroline, Caroline's Craftery, but I've got a lot. So different trims. Now, it does bother me somewhat that this is crooked, but you know, again, it's not the end of the world. I did choose this one after all. And then the back is the same. Okay, let's dig into this. I'm just going to keep checking, hopefully, that I stay in frame. Okay, so the first thing I see when I open up is poppies, which is a good thing. Or maybe even before I see the poppies, I see this Tyvek, this tape. And so, you know, because I had been in the store for a while and because I admired things and because I'm Hazel, I just said to her, why didn't you cover the spine? And she says, well, because this is a slip cover. It's a book cover. And this comes off. Well, on another journal, we attempted to get the cover off. Well, maybe I can do it here. Or maybe I don't need to. Well, I'm getting there, so maybe I will. So I'm obviously flexing on this a bit so that I can slip this off. Now, for those of you with good memories and who have been watching my channel a long time will know that when I was doing my purple journal series, I actually fluked out and found a piece of thrifted fabric that would have, boy, I'm almost afraid here. I think I need to work the back as well. Yeah, okay, so this one is coming off. The one that we tried to, like, she wanted to demo that to me in the store on another one that I was considering, and we couldn't budget. So so you can see it's just made, it's made like a book cover. And anyway, so that's what that looks like. And you can see that it's not entirely, you know, it's not entirely straight. However, that's not a deal breaker. Oh, the book cover itself is upside down. Again, that doesn't matter. But this tape is definitely, oh no, it's because, oh yeah, it is upside down. This tape is a definite downside, I would say. And when I said, so why didn't you cover it? She said, well, because it's a slip cover. And I said, but you could have still covered this and then made a slip cover. Because right now, this is, I mean, the first thing a person sees. So initially when I bought it, I thought, well, I'll cut the signature threads and I will reattach it. But that is probably not the smartest idea I've ever had. But I will cover this because that bothers me. So, you know, on the outside, I guess I don't care, but definitely on the inside. You can also see that her signature pages are, well, not exactly centered, but again, I can live with that. What size is this, by the way? Oh, see, it's a little over, it's 9 3/8. So that's probably why there is more book cover showing. I mean, it's not centered, but it's also the reason there's more showing than in a typical journal because, you know, obviously pages are only 8.5 inches tall. So again, that's not an issue. However, it does mean that there is more of this showing here. Let me stand up again. More of this showing here that would need to be covered as well. So I would think that the best bet here would be for me to find, like, there is a bit of bunching. So I think probably fabric, a fairly heavy fabric, an opaque fabric that would totally cover the blue is what is required here. So I can, you know, cover that up. It'll be harder at the bottom and top, but it's possible. So anyway, I've belabored that enough. Let's go on. Love the coloring page. This is just some folded paper. And it looks like me that she, you know, folded once and it wasn't enough. So she folded, to this day, it still happens to me all the time. So there's a fair bit of space to just write. Now this, oh, it looks like, okay, so this is a calendar page that she's just folded, and you can see, yeah, that's where she's glued it, and has made kind of this elongated tuck spot. And that shows, and that's fine. Oh, I see some brush marks. So I would think that she probably sealed this with, you know, like matte medium or something like that. Oh, so she would have signed this in 2020. So this is an older tag that got included in here. And of course, that's fine. And, and honestly, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, not the date. I don't care about that. But I'm just wondering if a person shouldn't get into the habit, if I shouldn't get into the habit of maybe adding my initials, ha, and, you know, the last, like, ha, 25, to things that I create. Just, I don't know if there's value in doing that or not. It's something to think about. So plain, plain, plain. Just some plain index cards, some colorful index cards stuck into I don't know what that is. Some sort of paper. I was almost thinking, oh my goodness, could that be a very complex connect the dot kind of thing? It's got dots and numbers. Boy, that would have been interesting. And you can see she used a pinking shear along there. I've had this paper. This is cardstock, so, or it's heavier weight, so I don't know what this is, but it's lovely. Sort of has that Asian feel to it. Piece of ledger. Lined paper that's going in the right direction. Always appreciate that. Now, the woman loves her butterfly punch. And, well, you can see my skin. There's a lot of that going through here. She's also sewn around with a kind of a nice, very regular metallic. Oh, I see. If I'd have noticed that, I should have asked her. Oh, okay. So she's got blue. She would have had this metallic gold thread top or bobbin, and another color, the blue, and the other opening. Now, sometimes I've lifted some of these things thinking, oh, maybe it's a hidden spot. But all she's done, I guess probably, maybe not so easy to see here, but it's got a scalloped edge on it. So I believe what she did was cut out blank pieces or solid pieces of paper using some sort of decorative, you know, what do you call those things that cut paper and go like this? Decorative scissors, excuse me, to create journaling spots on those pages where it would have been impossible to do otherwise. Now, because this is doubled up, she was able to do these butterfly cutouts. And again, you know, in this case, it's not that effective because it's the same color beneath. But in other places, you'll see that it's very effective. This is just craft paper, you know, a different width. And here you can see that one of these, now this might be crochet thread. Again, you know, some puncture marks. But again, who among us hasn't done that? 5 whole pamphlet stitch. So kudos to her for doing that because, you know, that does take a bit more thinking and calculation. This appears to be a digital. Again, glued on here just for a bit of decoration. A scalloped thing there on that side tuck. And of course, more stitching. So these kind of have that little bumpy feel along the edge. So this would have been a punch out from a kit, no doubt. So she used these little stickers strategically placed to cover up something there. So that, well, it doesn't matter what it says, but obviously that was the intention there. And I think that if I were doing this, I would have added a third element per card just to, but again, you know, this isn't criticism. This is just a difference in aesthetic, a difference in style. And you know, if I wouldn't have felt that this was worth my money, I wouldn't have bought it. So I just want to keep saying that I'm happy with this. But I'm also saying that if I were to do it, I would have added a third element because of that whole odd number thing that tends to, I think, work a little bit better in terms of design. And the things would have appeared, and it doesn't have to be a third focal point, a third important thing. It could have just been a little scrap of paper and that covered up whatever she wanted to cover up there. And then I would have grouped these closer together to make them feel more connected and less like they're floating. More of this same paper. Note card. Okay, so this nice thing, where's the other end of it, is actually a card. So that's lovely. Okay, so this is a 3 signature journal. I didn't say that. These are, I would say, recipe cards. Printed in Great Britain by Art Lines. No date on it. Yeah, so this is a recipe card because you would fill in how many people it serves. And love the peonies. Feel like stealing them for my peony journals. You can't really steal from yourself though, can you? Okay, this is the other side of that thing she made out of a calendar page. And because it's sort of an abstraction, well, I guess it's a building and flowers, but it doesn't read upside down, even though she's folded it. Like it works. Here's another tag in a similar vein to what she did On the other one, this one does not have her initials or year on it. Craft paper, another big sheet folded out. So obviously there is a lot of space to write in here. Plain paper, again, the other side of the Poppy coloring book page. Again, this is, so this would be a bit of an issue here with the Tyvek. But if I cover most of it up, I mean, I could probably even squeeze in some washi tape there or something, and that's... So butterfly paper, it looks like another card out of that same box, perhaps. Again, you know, little punch marks. We've seen this kind of stuff before where she's creating journal pages, journaling spots on pages that don't lend themselves to writing on otherwise. Plain, 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 plain. Here is another example of a butterfly punch. In this case, it's, you know, it's clear that it's because of the high contrast. It's very obvious. Let me check placement since I moved the book. It is very obvious that it's there because of the high contrast. So that makes it more effective in my mind. This is cute. Oh, so this is fabric. And she's used a contrast zigzag thread. Oh, it's just on an index card. And made a little lace pocket. So that's cute. Here's a corner pocket with a rose, probably book page or something. And actually quite an obvious thumb notch there as well. This sort of effect where you can, a page is shorter or narrower, so you can see the thing behind it is always pretty effective. This is just scrapbooking paper, I would say. And I love the, you know, I love this kind of stuff with a bit of text and sort of, I love that kind of thing. More of the same. Now, none of these double pages are actual pockets. The other thing that adding, now this is, I would say this is cardstock or heavier weight paper. Another thing that does is obviously strengthen a page that may be a bit flimsy. Oh, and it's not two pages sewn together. It's this corner thing sewn, this corner tuck sewn here. And of course it helps hold down these journaling spots. And a couple of pieces, three pieces of kind of pretty paper just for writing on. And obviously this and this, the two roses, that's a repeating element, so that's a good design feature. Plain, 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 plain. Here are more butterflies punched out. Okay, so this is not a pocket, but, you know, it's, does it matter that it's not totally glued down? Probably not, because it is sewn down and it's not lifting really. Butterfly punches along the bottom. On this side, she's used, I'd say that's maybe tissue paper and another piece to journal on. Yeah, that's also the same kind of card. And then we start the third signature. That must be part of the paper. Okay, here we can see she's used two butterfly punches, which adds more interest, and because it's against a solid background, is a lot more effective. Not more effective, more noticeable. And she seems to prefer these sort of zigzag type edges. Again, that's a style choice. Cardstock, more butterfly punch outs, but again, not not as visible here because of the light colored paper behind it. Here, of course, it is visible. Now, I know that I've done some punched edges, you know, with those kind of Martha Stewart type punches, you know, that do maybe 3 inches at a time, and then you move them over and you can do a continuous border. They do cause a bit of an issue sometimes, because if they're close to the edge, they obviously weaken the paper. And if you try to do it edge to edge, which I have, you can end up with part of a design running off the edge of the page, and then you've got a missing link there, a missing chunk. So this is smarter because they are individual punches, and, you know, she's left a bit of stabilizing paper. I mean, not, I'm saying that wrong, but, you know, it's uneven, but it's kind of enough to keep this from all tearing off and detaching. More butterflies here. More space to write there. Now this is fabric. And again, I was kind of struck by the notion that, why don't I do more of this? You know, it's obviously a focal point. It's easy peasy. And it's honestly, it's a way to get rid of some of those small pieces that we all have. I think that obviously if I was doing this, I would have rounded these corners, and of course I still can. Oh, so the pocket here is just this music paper that has been turned up and reinforced, because there's a bit of, although you can't really see it probably, a bit of, this is doubled up here. And I like to do that as well, because it does make this part, the leading edge of that pocket, that much stronger. Not sure what this is, but it's cute. More butterfly punch outs. It's that same ivy paper. This got a bit scrunched there, but that's fine. Again, the, you know, mother and baby punches. Another greeting card. Now this, oh, she told me, because I thought, oh, she fussy cut. It looks to me like a, you know, a slab, a cross section of a trunk. She said they were placemats, and she just folded them. Oh, well, here, you can. So it was a bigger piece of paper, and she folded it to make this kind of decorative edge pocket. So that's cool too. Now, I didn't ask, but I suspect that this is a photocopy. And the reason I suspect that is because if this was an original piece of stationery, it would not have this white margin. So what I will do, because I don't like that, is I will trim this off, get rid of that. And honestly, like, I'm not turning her into the copyright police, but, you know, that is a no-no to do in something that you're selling. So, yeah. Anyway, it's cute and kind of makes sense with the chipmunk and the wood. Just another floral coloring book page, more butterfly. Okay, so again, that's effective. Wait, what's going on here? Oh, she glued, she glued 2 pages together. Yes, now I can see that there's something in between there, which again kind of makes sense when you're punching. Now, it's not totally even on the sides here, but, you know, again, am I going to worry about that? Not really. So this, of course, would be more of the same. I can't really tell what that is, but maybe quilt pattern paper or something underneath. So this is kind of cool because you can see the, you know, the cardstock beneath it. Now, I didn't really notice until I'm drawing your, oh, are those just pencil marks? Because I thought, oh no, she used ink. I would say use pencil. If you're making guidelines for your holes, oh, and she also has holes that she didn't use, so I would, you know, say that's not so good. This is some decorative, like handmade paper type stuff, and that's a cool thing there. Oh, and again, she's glued 2 pages together. Now, personally, I would not leave, you know, we know that it's not easy to glue 2 things together. Number one, because things are often not straight and square and plumb. But also, you know, we're fallible. We're not perfect. So when we think we're lining up 2 corners, it ain't necessarily so. And how would I know that? Because I've done it. However, I would not leave this uneven like that. I would have trimmed this off so that the page appears straight. Now here, oh, she's used some trim, like yarn, fibrous, doubled it up by the looks of him, because you know this stuff is very wispy. So she's doubled it up and she's captured it with this zigzag stitch. And then it's been hinged. Now it's not that obvious because it's obviously white on white. A scalloped edge here that she's hinged to that. And again, so is this, oh, see? Oh, it is a pocket. Okay. So that's cool. Whoops. Got something happening here, not entirely sure. And another piece of that placemat, or maybe, no, I guess it's all the same one, so that is pretty gigantic. More note paper. Love these little bits of stationery. Oh, that's a foot and mouth artist paper. I'm not crazy about the zigzag. But again, that's a design choice. It certainly, that's a matter of taste. And I do know that, like you, I've got a number of Fiskars decorative edge scissors that I do not use nearly enough. So that too is a good reminder to, you know, change things up a bit and use some of those things. Now, the other thing that I will point out with the decorative scissors is that it is almost impossible to cut a straight line. You know, so again, does that matter? Yeah, sometimes, and other times not, I guess. What I don't think I've ever done it, so I guess a way around that, if it is annoying, would be to draw a very faint pencil line and attempt to follow that with whatever the things are. So another one of those, you know, self-closing things. This is pretty darn cute. Again, I would say the same thing about copyright. This is a repeating type of element, so that's always a good thing. Tissue, a ghost copy of a napkin. I'm not entirely sure, but that's nice. Oh, here. And again, well, let's just say, where are my, maybe I'll just pick a micron pen. Black stitching, white on white. So what I could do if I wanted to draw more attention to this is if we hit some glue, it's not going to work as well. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'll move it soon. Yeah, this is not exactly the greatest solution because there must be glue there. But you can see just by doing a bit of an outline. Oh, well, it would be good to stay in the lines. Yeah, the marks aren't totally perfect because there must be glue residue there. But you can see that that does at least make the design obvious. Oh, I didn't finish this one. So again, you know, because this has so much blank space in it, and of course that also helps keep the cost down, let's face it, because there's far less work in a journal like this than there is if everything is heavily decorated and every pocket is full and so on. But I'm just, as I did this, it occurs to me that I could just use this almost like a glue book. Because there's so many blank pages, I could just be collaging on each page and creating little spreads. So perhaps that's the purpose I'll use this for. Here is a pocket on the other side of this cardstock with a little tiny sticker there. Again, I think she must coat her things with matte medium, which, you know, is a good idea. More butterflies. And then here, this is lovely. Now, I don't know. That's probably, oh, look how cute that is. A tiny little girl with a donut and a cake. And then, of course, those rows. Oh, here's another little girl. That's beautiful and whimsical. And then back here, I got her to sign it. So, again, yes, I think I just made a decision about that. And honestly, do I need a place to glue stuff down? No. But I wanted to, well, support her. And I wish that when I got out to my car, I would have quickly made some notes, reminders, or I probably could have asked her for permission to take photos, since I wasn't just kicking tires, I was actually buying, and I did spend a lot of money in the thrift store buying things in addition to this. I wish I would have gone to the car and quickly made some notes about some of the ideas that I saw in other of her projects. Because, of course, like she said, well, you know, if you want something with the most work, she had like a crazy, wait, what is Caroline calling those? Crazy quilt type of cover. There was a denim one that I was kind of eyeing as well. And eventually I think I settled on this one just because of this beautiful cover. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep, number one, when I figure out a way to cover this, I will, and I'll show you. Again, the challenge will be in the spaces in between the signatures. But I think that that's going to be a place that I just glue stuff. And in maybe even the next video, I shouldn't say that because I schedule when I need to schedule stuff. What I will be doing, because I've been doing a lot of going through my stuff, getting organized, filing, in other words, putting things where they actually belong, I have filled a basket, and it's beside me now because I think that'll be my next video that I do. A number of elements, you know, where it's a small piece of lace. It's a small well, why don't I just show you? Not a very small thing, but you can see there's some fabric in here. There's some things that need to be filed. There's this sticky, you know, trim. So that's what I'm going to do, because we know that if all these bits, look how deep this is, and look how big this is. If all these bits are scattered around, or if they're in boxes and baskets and bags, it adds to that feeling of chaos and disarray that makes a lot of us, you know, just a wee bit squirrely. So I want to make a dent in that. And of course, it doesn't happen overnight, and a person also has to be prepared to start throwing some stuff out. Anyway, Jenny, I am pleased with my purchase. I, despite anything that I've said that might sound like criticism, if I wouldn't have liked it, I wouldn't have bought it. And yeah, I'm just, I think the big takeaway from this for me is use punches as decorative elements, and remember what might be peeping through the hole that you create with the punch. And doing more of these fabric covered journaling cards, because they're so easy and yet they're so beautiful. I also wouldn't have thought of, especially with this wispy stuff, like really what the heck do you do with it other than work it into a dangle? You know, doubling or tripling this up and sewing that sucker down so it doesn't, so it never escapes. Anyway, I appreciate you guys being here. I'm so grateful to those of you who are new subscribers. I'm extremely grateful to those of you who are loyal, supportive, loving friends who have hung in there, you know, ever since you found me. And honestly, it's the reason that I keep coming back time after time. So again, I don't stop to say that often enough. I hope it's evident in my replies to your comments. But again, unless you're commenting, I have no way of touching you, so to speak. So please do consider writing some comments. I know it's a busy time of year and all that jazz, and I know that sometimes I watch videos and don't comment as well. But if we all try harder. Anyway, guys, thank you for being here, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.